Hi, and welcome back to the Road to React add-on YouTube series where I go through the book, which is called The Road to React by Robin Virok, and kind of provide some extra context maybe. So that way I get to learn React a little bit better, and maybe one or two of you will join me on this journey. So with that said, today we're going to talk about introducing another React component. The name of this section is Meet Another React Component. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our code. So here's my code from last time. And we're going to try to create another React component for just this list part right here. So this part that I've highlighted. So this part right here that I've highlighted can be made into another component. And we're just going to call that component list, right? So let's do that. So for that, we're going to start off with maybe, let's start off by moving this list right here, the array. Let's move that to outside the function. And we're going to introduce another component, and we're going to do it within the same file. So I don't know how long we're going to continue doing multiple components in such a way, but just to let you know, this is not really the right way to do it. You usually have to put the React component outside of this outside of this file, but in this case, Robin put it in the same file, which obviously has reasons to do so. So I'm just going to create a component right here, which is just a function, right? Called list, and I moved this list to outside this function app. At the end, we're still exporting just app, just FY. Okay, cool. So remember what we're trying to do. All we're trying to do is move all of this. I'm going to take this out and move it inside the list component. Okay? All right, so let me see. What are we missing still? Well, in order for this to work, if you look at app, the app component, you'll see there's a return statement. We don't have that, so let's add that. We're going to return all of this. Make sure you close it. I see a lot of new developers be sloppy with, let's get rid of this comment, sloppy with parentheses, opening and closing brackets. So I cannot stress this enough. This part is very important. Just whenever you have an opening curly brace or opening parentheses, make sure you close it right away. Don't do it later. Okay, cool. All right, so what are we doing? We're returning, actually we're just returning, it's actually a little bit simpler than that. We're just returning, we don't even need the parentheses and the curly brace here, just whatever this map function returns, because there's already return right there. So there's a return, we're saying return whatever map returns, and map returns this, right? So let's get rid of this. Let's make sure everything is closed correctly, and it's not. Okay, I think everything should be balanced now. Okay, so there's your list component. All we did, we moved it out of app into its own component, and we moved the list out of app, so that way this list is available to this list component because it uses list right here. If imagine if we kept this list still in this app function, then list would not have access to it. Okay, cool. So what else do we have to do? Well, probably the most important thing, which is actually to call on the list component or use it. So over here, we're just going to tell it whatever list is, which is obviously this stuff right here. Go ahead and put that in here. That's it. Okay, so I think I got it all. So let me just let me see if this works. So npm start. Let's see if there's an error, if there's a problem, it should tell me. Obviously, it will tell me either on compile while it compiles or when it runs, but it looks fine. It looks like everything worked, but just to make sure, I recommend you right click on the page, go to console, and make sure there's no error messages here. Sometimes you see warning messages, but the most important thing is make sure you don't see any error messages. Okay, cool. And I think that's it. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything important. So he talks about, you know, obviously moving the component, the list component. Oh, okay. Robin talks a little bit about the tree, what is it called? The component hierarchy, and how, which is also called component trees, which just, represents how the components relate to each other. And this part is it's actually pretty important. You should always have some sort of visual image of the relationship between different components. That will make your development a lot easier. So that part should be clear. For example, he was showing that the search bar or box, the input box right here, is parallel to list, right? Because they're both inside of this div. So these two, this one and this one, are siblings. He's also saying you could literally make this a component as well if you like. You can make almost anything a component. And think about how that could be a benefit, a good thing. Okay, cool. I think that should do it for today's lecture. So I hope this helps. Keep following this series. Hopefully we get through the end, all the way to the end, and we become better React developers. And if you have any questions, just feel free to comment or reach out to me directly. And as always, please don't forget to subscribe. I love doing this stuff, but I would love to have a greater following, more followers, and I would love to create more videos such as these. All right, guys, take care.